Hello again. In this video, we will learn a very interesting point of use of adjectives, that is Opshacom. That is actually an acronym that helps us in arranging the adjectives in a sentence. I mean, if you have more than one adjectives and they qualify the same noun, so sometimes it is a matter of confusion that what adjective we must use first and what after. We try our best, but still we forget about the order of the adjectives. But this acronym helps us to put the adjectives in their proper order. So let us understand the rules governing the use of multiple adjectives qualifying the same noun. Actually, it is a mnemonic device, that is Opshacom, and we used in English grammar to use the standard sequence of adjectives before the noun. I have already talked about it. But please note one thing, that in natural use, the native speakers rarely use more than 2 or 3 adjectives at a time. So it's not necessary that you have to use that many adjectives, or that many adjectives are normally used before the noun. Normally 2 or 3 adjectives are used. But in case you have to use that many adjectives, you will have to follow this rule. So what does the acronym Opshacom stand for? First of all, let's break it down. The OP of Opshacom stands for opinion, means personal views, means the adjectives that tell our personal views about a thing, our personal opinion about a noun. So they will be placed first. So OP. Personal views like beautiful, delicious, ugly, wonderful. So these types of adjectives are always placed in the beginning. Then SH, that is SH, stands for shape. There are some adjectives which tells us the shape of the noun. So we use those adjectives after the adjectives that show opinion, like round, square, large, small. These adjectives show the shape of a noun. Then A in the Opshacom stands for age. The adjectives that show the age of noun, like ancient, old, new, young, and likewise other adjectives, they come after the adjectives that show shape. And then C stands for color. The adjective that shows the color of noun is placed after the adjective that shows age, like white, blue, red, green, etc. Then O in Opshacom stands for origin, means where something comes from, means the origin of the things are a noun. Through some nouns, we show the origin of the nouns and we place them after the adjectives that show color. And the last letter of the Opshacom is M. It stands for material, like what something is made of. There are some adjectives that tell us the material of noun, so we place them in the last after the adjectives that show origin. Let us have a look at an example. I already told you normally we don't use that many adjectives, but let's have a look at an example I have made for you which contains all these adjectives. In this example, the noun is table. and it is qualified by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adjectives. So I have placed the adjective lovely in the beginning because it tells my opinion about the table. I say lovely table. Then little, a lovely little. Little shows the shape of the table, so I have placed it after the adjective that shows opinion. Old table, old shows the age of the table, so I have placed it after the adjective that shows shape. Then brown, brown table. So brown shows the color of the table and I have placed it after the adjective that shows the age of the table. And English table means what is the origin of the table? English. So English table, here English shows the origin. I have placed it after the adjective that shows color. And wooden table, wooden shows the material of the table, so I have placed it after the adjective that shows origin. So I can say I liked a lovely little old brown English wooden table. So this is the sequence. In some of the cases, we don't have the adjective that shows opinion. In some cases, we don't have color. Some cases, we don't have material. Whatever is missing, but still we will follow this way. Only we will leave out those things. There is also another point we have to note, that if we have determiners, we have already talked about determiners in our previous parts of speech lessons. So if we have determiners or possessives or numbers, they are always placed before Opshacom adjectives. So additionally, if you have to use a determiner, you have to use a possessive adjective, or you have to use a number, so you will place it in the beginning. Let's have a look at some more examples. A fast, new, red Italian car. A is a determiner, opinion, age, color, origin, and then I put noun. An elegant, long blue silk dress. This is determiner or article. This is opinion, shape, color, material, and then I placed noun. A strange, tall, ancient stone statue. Determiner, opinion, shape, age, material, and then noun. 3 expensive antique silver rings. Rings. Again, 3 is a number, as I have already talked about in this note. Then opinion, age, material, and then noun. That disgusting pink plastic bag. That determiner, opinion, color, material, and then I placed noun. Now, there is a question mostly students ask or arises in our minds, that when we are using so many adjectives, either we have to separate them with commas or not. The answer is that in written English, we usually use commas. But if you don't use comma, still it is okay. For example, it was an old, comma, interesting film. I really love that round, comma, small clock. Small and round are adjective, interesting and old are adjective, and they are separated by commas. In formal writing, we have to follow that rule. But if we are not using it, it's still okay. He got a lovely adjective, comma, little adjective, comma, Swiss adjective, comma, gold watch. Now this happens that when in all these examples I have given, the adjectives are used before the nouns. But what if the adjectives are used after the noun? Because we have already talked about predicative and attributive adjectives. If you are interested to learn more about predicative and attributive adjectives, please watch my that special video on them. So when we have predicative adjectives and not one but more than one, then the last two adjectives are separated by the word and. That is important. So this is actually the note. If there are more than one adjectives after a noun, use and between the last two adjectives. Let's have a look at the example that contains and. Her watch, here noun has been used in the beginning, not in the end or after the adjectives. Her watch was new and expensive. New, expensive adjectives, and they are connected by the word and. We have to use and between the two according to this rule. To the house, noun was large, comma, cold and old. Cold and old, the last two adjectives are separated by the word and, that also connects them. I hope you learned this interesting rule about the order of adjectives, and it will help you a lot in composition and speaking wherever you are confused that how to place different adjectives in order. If there is any confusion about this thing, do ask me in the comments. I will try to respond, and I'm also given the description with more examples while uploading the video. Until my next video, bye bye.